Guys, do these 5 things if you're wanting to build a tiny house quickly. All right, been building this tiny house for a while, and these are some tips if you're about to build a tiny house or you got a dream of building a tiny house. These would be some tips from my own experience that might help you out. So keep watching. I got to get to work on this thing, but we're going to go over it. Welcome back if you watched the last video. If you remember, we took the scaffolding down on the front. I just call it the scaff, and it's laying on the ground. We just left. That was kind of the last thing for the day, and we were tired, beat. Hopped in the truck, got out, but now we're dealing with this. So I'm gonna start a fire. A lot of this is garbage. We're gonna start burning stuff, and I'm gonna tell you guys what not to do if you're trying to build a tiny house fast. First, I gotta do a little bit of cleaning up, and then we'll get right into it. See what I mean about cleaning up? It doesn't take long for things to get out of control if you don't stay on top of it. So I'm starting a fire. The kids are helping today. They're over here somewhere. Boom, there's John. My daughter Lucy's here today. She's gonna be helping out on camera and helping do some other stuff. So that's awesome. We're gonna try to get that wall built right there, which is the last wall I've been putting off because we're kind of using that area just to get in and out of that area. And as soon as I close that off, we're gonna have to go through the front door and kind of go around. So we've been waiting, but today's the day. We're gonna get that thing built, get the window framed out that goes right there, get the OSB on it, hopefully get the house wrap, and maybe we can even put that window in, but we don't have a full day today. So we'll see how far we get. First thing we're gonna do, start cleaning this place up and making it to where we can walk around. So I'm gonna shut up, I'm gonna set this phone down, and we're gonna get busy. All right, the first thing I would do if I was trying to build a tiny house quickly is the exact opposite of what I did. Don't put a second story. You see that loft right there? Just keep it all one level, okay? Just one simple roof design, no upstairs, no loft, no extra high stuff. Just keep it simple, keep it one level, and I promise you that'll make your tiny house build go way quicker. Super warped. Can you see that? Okay, so no second story. The second thing that I would do is have some kind of a blueprint, okay? It doesn't have to be an official set of plans. Have a good drawing. That way, whenever you're doing your rough ends for your windows and your doors, it's exactly how you want it, okay? We kind of switched gears in this one. Whenever I first started building this, it was just gonna be a tool shed. And then we changed our mind, turned it into a tiny house, but we didn't have any windows at the time, and I thought I was just going to use like old windows and wasn't real sure with exact like how many windows and what sizes they were going to be and all that kind of stuff. And over the years of off and on working on this thing, I changed my mind and stuff. So we ended up reframing a lot of the windows in the tiny house, tearing out boards and headers and moving stuff around and things like that. So just have a good blueprint where you don't have to redo things like how I've had to, you know what I'm saying? So no second story, have a blueprint, get your windows and your door rough ends exactly right from the beginning, and it's just gonna make things go a lot smoother. That's actually really good. Third thing I would do, if I had it in my mind that I needed to build my tiny house quickly, is I would try to find a nice level spot of ground. Like where I'm building that tiny house right there, it's on a hill. It's like right on the side of the hill, and there's rocks everywhere and there's nothing level about it, okay? And just over the course of building this thing, I've realized like just walking around the tiny house is hard, you know, and whenever you do it all day long, it just wears on you. So I would recommend, if you're wanting to build a tiny house quickly, taking some of these tips into consideration, go ahead and find a nice level area to build the tiny house. And then all the area around the tiny house, rake it smooth, get rid of all the big rocks. Just try to make your walk zone as walkable friendly as possible, and it'll make your overall building experience, whenever you're out here and you're just kind of walking around all the time, it'll make it so much easier to have a nice smooth area to walk in. And I didn't really have that option here because I wanted to build the tiny house right on the edge of the bluff, kind of this like goes down real steep right there, and that's specifically where I wanted the tiny house, and I knew that it was going to be harder building it right there. So that was my decision. It's not necessarily a wrong decision. The location of the tiny house was more important to me. But if you have the option where you live to build on level area, you're like, oh, this part's real hilly and rocky, but this part's level, and you don't really care, go with the level, because I promise you it's going to be worth it while you're building it. All right, so the fourth thing that I could think of that's going to help your tiny house project go quicker is having your chunk of money ready to go from the beginning. You know what I mean? Like, we just been building this thing as we went. Just like, if we got money, work on it. If I have time, work on it. I still work for a living. You know, I'm by no means a full-time content creator, you know, so I'm just working like everybody else and coming out here when I can and working on it. So we just been paying for it as we go. But if you're in a hurry and you want to get your tiny house built quick, you're going to need to have the money, because you're going to be rocking and rolling. You're going to be needing to pay for stuff constantly from start to finish till you get it all done. I, on the other hand, did not have a big chunk of money and have had to do it just a little bit as cheaply as possible so that we could even afford to do it to begin with. So that's my story. And the whole reason I'm making this video is for you guys. Maybe you've started one already, maybe you haven't, but take these things into consideration. And number 5, things that I would do if I was wanting to build a tiny house quickly. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and be sure and hit that notification bell so you'll get notified each and every time I post a brand new video. And number 5, things that I would do if I was wanting to build a tiny house quickly, or things I wouldn't do, however you want to look at it, is have electricity, okay? Have some form of electricity. I built a lot of this tiny house with no electricity out here, and just having to take my batteries home and charge them at the house, and, you know, make sure everything is fully charged, and try not to forget my batteries the next morning whenever I leave. But oh man, I got all the way down here and I forgot my batteries. That happened more than once. Just having electricity, whether it's a temporary pole, some kind of a generator, some kind of like a power bank system with a solar panel, just something that you can plug something into. I can't tell you how many times my phone has died while I've been out here working on this tiny house, filming or whatever. I get ready to leave, I don't have any battery, and I gotta let my phone charge as I'm driving home. It's not really that big of a deal, but if I had electric, my life in the moment would have been that much better. So that's probably the 5th thing. I'm gonna keep making these videos like this as I'm building the tiny house. If I come up with an idea or something that I think might help somebody else, I'll probably make a video about it. And if you've ever built a tiny house and you got some kind of suggestions or maybe something you might want me to talk about right here on this tiny house show, drop it in the comments, send me an email. Don't forget to like and subscribe this video. If you got anything out of this video, even if you already knew these tips, but you found it entertaining or whatever, I'm still building the tiny house, but we're gonna start doing a few tips. I don't know if we're gonna get into a lot of how-to stuff, maybe a little bit. I'm gonna try, but we're gonna have a good time. I really appreciate you guys watching, and we'll catch y'all on the next video. Peace!